So Ritesh, I'll start with the most important question. You have in the past played characters with wild names like Champak, Chandrakant, Chiplunkar, and now you're playing Kostav, Kosti, Chogle. I'm really curious, what do you think, why filmmakers come up with these crazy, colorful names for you all the time?
I'm not too sure whether they cast me and then they come up with the names. Only they can answer these. But I was Eddie the Teddy in Hey Baby.
Right.
Tanmay Zogulekar in some one of the films, and then Deshbandhu Roy in another film. So, yeah.
आप इतने लाजवाब हैं कि एक शब्द काफी नहीं होता, मतलब you need many words.
Correct. अभी मुझे लगता है मेरे नाम के साथ एड्रेस भी आ जाएगा.
Which is your favorite of all time? A character name?
Mauli.
Great. Right. You know, I was watching the movie and made me realize this is the first time you guys are paired together, but you guys have credits together on 3 bona fide comedy classics, Hum Shakals, Himmatwala and Entertainment.
Okay.
From a 2022 vantage point, having done a Netflix film, things like that, how do you guys look back to that period of, you know, commercial comedy Hindi cinema?
I think it's great. I feel commercial Hindi cinema, Desi cinema is here to stay. Maybe the films may falter, but the genre will never falter. You know, if you make the right kind of cinema, you will see those kind of numbers there.
Yeah.
So, where a certain film might just do not as appealing numbers as it was meant to do, but then you have, at least in my limited experience, you know, be it Houseful or Dhamal, which have done those 150, 200, but something like Hum Shakal probably, though it did 63 crores, but the expectation was much more, so it didn't do well. Today 63 crores will sound like a great number, which was done 10 years ago. So things have changed, but I just feel that even Entertainment had done great numbers. Like so numbers and era and time have really changed, but I feel the mass entertainer genre in terms of comedy will always be here to stay. You just have to make a relevant film to entertain the audience.
But Tamannaah, does approach to performance change when you're doing something like this, which is much more urban, more chilled out, like a rom-com, as opposed to that very high-key, broad comedy that we are known to do before?
I think definitely the characters in films like Plan A, Plan B are more well-rounded, at least for a female actor, and also we are doing a lot more. We're proactively doing a lot more humor, which we were not actually a part of in out-and-out commercial setups. I love the genre because I've literally made my entire career on commercial cinema. Tamil and Telugu films primarily create those kind of movies. Of course, they also have a space which does their very, very artsy kind of cinema. But I personally don't understand what that even means, because I think good films that everyone wants to watch is commercial cinema. I don't know how else to define it. Like if lots of people are watching one piece of content, that's commercial because it's reaching out to masses. Having said that, I feel like today's time and age, I'm really glad that we are being casted because we fit the part and not because we have, so not only because we have a certain, fan following or certain like past which kind of holds us commercially up. So I feel like it's nice when people are actually now looking at us as people and then figuring whether we actually suit the part. And I feel like when you watch a film like Plan A, Plan B, you realize that it's literally been casted for the merit of the project. Also, I feel like Riteish is a really versatile actor, and I love the fact that he's done a film like this, because as much as I love him doing, out and out comedies, I feel like this has such subtle humor which he has brought into this project. I don't think if anybody else could have even pulled this off. He is stoic and straight-faced and poker-faced as hell, but he's still so funny, and I think nobody else could have done it except for him. So, so well casted, I guess.
Such kind words from a co-actor. Thank you.
No, but
she's lovely.
देखो, you can't. I don't think मैं सुबह से ये करी तो मैं इतनी बार तो झूठ नहीं बोल सकती.
But on that note, you play a matchmaker, you play a divorce lawyer, your characters are always fighting. But this is what Ritesh's comics presence is such. Is it hard not to crack up? Like,
when he's being I was
stoic?
cracking up all the time. In fact, he's heard so many versions of my laughter that he really.
Yeah, every time she laughs, it's a different pitch.
Yeah.
See this. See.
Exactly. That's what he was trying to say. इतने अलग, इतना
अरे,
लाफिंग भी इतनी वर्सेटाइल है, अभी क्या
तो
करें.
क्या कर सकते हैं, हर लैंग्वेज के लिए क्या.
My favorite scene or rather line was where you go like, अगर losers का भी competition हुआ तो you will come second, and he just goes like, what does that even mean? Right? Do you guys remember shooting that one?
Yeah. You seen the film?
Yes.
Everyone has seen the film except for you.
मुझको मैं 30 सितंबर को देखूंगा पिक्चर लोगों के साथ नेटफ्लिक्स पर. बट या it's a different kind of humor, and I say that because the last time I did that was in Bluffmaster, the urban humor,
Right, yeah.
which was written by Rajat. It was Rajat's first film, and now his first film as a writer producer, and I'm happy to be part of it. And Shashank, who owns this space, of understanding of humor and how to break the norms of usually a line is said or even a space. So he will say aisa mat karo. I remember there was a scene with the child actor and me. We're talking and I make him sit on a chair, and he's much older for his age, and we sit together, and then he's talking about Tamannah's ex-boyfriend, and we both are having, he says, can you do it lollipop? I said, yeah, sure. Now we both are having a lollipop, and he says, and then whatever, there's a punch, and I'm like, we're talking about death, and then we're like, so now that lollipop and this, so that is Shashank, he curates the environment in such a way that will break away from the topic that you're talking, but inherently it's dark and yet funny and cool.
At the same time. Right. What is your favorite comic bit? Is it the dance, that really awkward drunk dance that you have?
Yeah, I've heard about this dance, I've not seen it. I'm really looking forward to seeing this thing.
I look very tully.
Yeah.
Did you choreograph it yourself, or did someone?
They gave me the basic moves, and then I just did my own version of it.
And a wonderful dancer that she has to pretend she's not a great dancer. So,
Right.
Yeah, that was the hardest part.
Right.
Not because I'm a great dancer, but because actually I feel very jumpy when I hear music. So to not do that was very difficult.
yeah, I'm sure.
And to not follow the beat is more hard for me than to follow the beat, because it's
Right.
against my innate nature. But that's about it. But it was super fun. I think that's the point of being an actor, right? That every day you get to be someone else. Every day you kind of get to, enact something new in a completely different environment. So it was fun.
True. As comedy veterans, I want to know, what is the craziest improvisation you guys have either done or seen around you that a director kept in the film?
No, I think we have been blessed to work with so many different directors in various genres. She has had the pleasure and honor and privilege of working with so many different industries and the talent around them. So if I have to answer this question, I have worked with, say, Priyadarshan, Sajid Khan, Indra Kumar, Shashank, so who understand humor very well, and they give space for us to improvise, and there have been so many improvisations.
Something specific you can remember, something you're very proud of that it happened? Sometimes a lot of acting just, something happens magically and it goes into a scene.
Working with Sajid Khan, when you're doing a scene, and even with her, when I worked with him or Akshan, whatever, so once he says action, you're saying your dialogues, but while saying that, he'll say, ये cactus उठा के Baman के हाथ में दे. So I'm like, तू क्या कर रहा है? मैं बोला. So then Baman has to figure out what to do with the cactus, and it's live, it's rolling. And so now you are taking instructions from the director on the mic while you're saying your lines, and every actor is competent enough to, it is like volleyball, right? It's your turn to hit the ball. And I think these are improvisations that are done on the go. Sometimes they are great and sometimes we feel they're too much, but we are not afraid to do it. So that's a space that is wonderful to explore as actors.
Yeah. You have a favorite?
Yeah, to be honest, आपने तो veteran कुछ बोल दिया, but ऐसा तो कुछ भी नहीं है. Sir, he still deserves that title. I have not.
You've done enough. You've done enough.
I think I've done a lot of humor, but of course in the South, so I think those have been fun characters. I can't remember a specific scene, but definitely the whole dance bit that happened, I think, in this film is probably really, it's funny, I guess, to a degree. So I guess that's something that I enjoy doing.
Right. Do you think screenwriters are also writing funnier female characters now with them being the comic actors in a scene rather than, let's say, the butt of a joke or, you know, the receiving end of the humor.
Yeah, I think you have something to say. Say that. What are you trying?
Yeah, sorry, I'll just give about improvisation. I just remember one.
Yeah.
I was shooting for Dhamal, and Javed, Arshad, Ashish, and we were sitting, and there was this whole scene where Sanjay Dutt comes and smashes the entire dhaba and it goes down. And I had one line saying, Kabir, tumhara phone mere paas hai. Okay, and I was sitting outside and we were just mimicking actors, and then I said, and the set was far away and Induji was right behind me and I was like, Kabir, tumhara phone. I said, then Pran Saab kaise bolte hai, Kabir, tumhara phone yahan hai, and then how would Shara or even Sanjay like, Kabir, tera phone, matlab, so we were just doing it. And Induji said, hey, wo rakh side mein rakho, side mein. So kya side mein? वो संजीव कुमार वाला, हरी भाई side में रख. क्यों? अब तू वही बोलेगा उधर. So now suddenly it went, then I had to put cotton in my face and then I had to get up and I said, Kabir, tomorrow mobile. So you figure out, and so it's the director who eventually takes the call whether this should go there or not, and he had the eye for it. So it suited that moment and it was fun.
Is Priyadarshan like that also?
No, Priyan sir is different. He says, Riteish, come, run, camera roll, just jump, go sit. It's okay, na, come. This evening, Paresh, call Paresh, there's a cart. You come from SA, where are you going, what are you doing? So I said, dialogue कौन सा scene कर रहा है? Just do fast. कहाँ जा रहे हो? अरे उधर जाना है. Cut, go sit. So now I didn't know. I was shooting for Malayalam Weekly and I didn't know what was happening. And I thought that I have come in a space. I enjoyed working with him. He's a great director. But I did not know what a wonderful editor he was. Because I had no clue what was happening on the set. It was all in his head. And when I saw the film, I was like, wow, okay. That's the genius of Priyadarshan.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, you were answering the question about female characters in comedies.
I think for a large part of time, funny's been a male gene, but I think it is definitely changing a lot more now, thanks to social media and thanks to streaming platforms like Netflix. But I do feel like it did exist back in the day. I think in the middle somewhere it got lost. Like when I used to watch Shri Ma'am's movies, I think that was where I had really seen the OG, humor done by a female lead. And Juhi Chawla, I still think Juhi Chawla is the best when it came to humor. Like,
no, it's his
like Hamera Aayi Pyar Ki. I don't know. It's one of my favorite films. Like I've watched it I don't know if you I remember.
Yeah, Hamera,
amazing.
She was wonderful. Madhuri Dixit, Sita or Gita. If you take even Hema ji. I mean.
So I think there was a phase when women did these very fun characters and which were full fledged. I think somewhere in the middle it got lost. I think it's coming back, which is great. So. Yeah, everyone who.
And also, I think rom-com in a funny space gives that opportunity for actresses to really go play with the humor aspect of it, along with the romance. Of course, it needs to have. I thought Jab We Met, where Kareena did that, was fantastic.
It was amazing.
She was brilliant.
I think even Queen Kannada was.
Yeah, great.
I feel like whenever women have taken up humor, it. And you let them bloom there, it's a great space. But I think they're far and few, so yes, we could have more of those.
Right. Talking about all these legends, Poonamji is in the film and she is hilarious and she has really funny lines over, like the one with the pussy in the beginning. There's one line about, she goes... it's okay. I cracked up listening.
Pussy auntie.
Pussy auntie, yeah.
How is it, working with her and also seeing her in this space when she can, she's
very nurturing, She's extremely nurturing and she's quite the motherly figure on set and she is a very chilled out person, and for the stature that she has and for the kind of work she's done, she holds no air at all for having that kind of, legacy. So I feel like it's an inspiration for actors that are newer that, listen, you might achieve X, Y, Z in your life, but like, please be humble about it. Like, so when I meet actors like her, I realize, and she still wants to learn, she still wants to improv, she still doesn't want to give that, she can't give a take that's 99%, she has to give her 100%. So I feel like even at this point of her career, after having acted for so many years, she still wants to ace it. So I feel like that is who she was on set,
Right.
and she was a really warm energy on
Right.
set.
There's I think an exit line. I think I don't know if it was even there in the script. She just goes like, "Better sex kar le," something
Yeah.
like that. And it ends the scene perfectly.
Yeah.
Right. Guys, the word plan comes to my head, and I'm sure you guys can getting this question. But if not an architect and not an actor, Riteish, what would you have liked to explore as a career?
I think an informed farmer. Because I feel that learning about agriculture and growing the right kind of food, because I feel food is what the world needs for tomorrow, and I would be happy to innovate in that space and take it ahead.
Have you had the opportunity, given your background also in
I'm a farmer, so primarily we are farmers.
Yeah.
And we still go back farming, so we try newer stuff to farm. My mother farms back home, so after my dad, she just went back to the village, and that's what really helps her meditate and concentrate. So I'm very happy, and she does these new things. She tries out new things so that if they are successful, then the farmers around the village come and adapt it. But she takes the risk of making it sure that it happens, and that's inspiring that a lady at 57 starts a career at farming, and that's inspiring. So farming land is something that I'm close to.
Amazing. Tamannaah, if not acting, if not, you've mentioned makeup and skincare,
Yeah,
that was one thing,
love,
but something wild, like something not like you had it in you or a direction like that, something you would have just liked to do.
I think I'd make a great editor.
Ah,
'Cause I have such I think that's one skill I would want to develop. But I know I have a knack for it, so I need to but it's a very skilled job, so you can't just wake up and just start doing that. But I feel like editing is a process in films that is so underrated, because it can literally, you can take the same film and have a different version of it if it's edited differently. Can make or break a film actually.
Right.
So I feel like if there was any other space that I would have explored, if not an actor, would have been an editor.
There's a saying in the industry, picture table pe banti hai.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you guys have an exit plan when a script comes to you and you want to say no, but maybe it's a director you worked with before, maybe it's a very esteemed producer, and it's uncomfortable? What is your exit plan then when you want to say no to a script?
I think when you're hearing a script and halfway through, you know that you're not going to do it. Fair enough. There are so many scripts that you feel you don't want to do them. But now, how do you say to the person who's come that you don't want to do this? So when you know that a film end pe aa rahi hai, then you figure out in your head, what is my first line going to be, how are you going to do it, whatever, without hurting anyone's sentiment. But as a policy, I hear the narration and then I tell them I like to read the script, and then I'll come back to that. So it's not an exit plan, because sometimes you react instinctively and then you read the script and then you say, it wasn't that bad, I didn't get it the first time, then probably the narration wasn't great, but I want to give the film a chance, and after a read also, if I don't feel that strongly, then I don't do it. There have been many films that I have not felt that strongly, but because it's a friend, I've done it.
Tamannaah, for you?
I think I've come to a space where I'm really honest, like I'm respectfully honest, and I feel like as an artist, even if I don't like something, I actually tell the person, listen, I don't like it for this reason. And I feel like I have noticed whenever I have been, and that's my nature, I think I have always been very upfront, and I don't know how to kind of twist it around. I've always been straightforward. I think more so now. And I tell people, like, listen, this is the reason I don't feel like it, and at this point of my career, this is something I don't want to do. And I've seen people responding to it in the most positive way. I can't imagine dodging someone. I can't imagine, not responding to someone. I feel like when you actually tell someone how you feel genuinely, I think people get it. And I have seen better reactions like that than in any other way. So I personally like to speak, and I'm very instinctive. I cannot read, actually. I'm not someone who can sit and read a script. So I have to more than often hear it. The good old way as how narrations used to happen. So I hear scripts, and when I hear, I know almost immediately, or a little, like maybe I go back and brood a little bit over it. But I'm very instinctive with my decisions. So yeah, I actually give the truthful perspective. It sometimes, I don't know how the other person takes it, but my my intention's always to kind of say it in the most respectable fashion, so nobody feels bad about it. But I feel like it's nicer when you just kind of say it as is, because then people know that it's not like you don't want to work with them, or it's not about them personally, but it's that piece of work that maybe you don't resonate with as an actor.
Right. I'll end with this, guys. One comedy classic you guys always look back to or take inspiration from. You have mentioned Andaz Apna Apna once before.
Oh.
If not that, something else.
Angur.
Great choice.
No, I'm just talking about, they were just wonderful films, way back, because I've grown up in the 80s and 90s, and I've seen all the older films also. So it's just been wonderful to have experienced so much of cinema. I used to watch 3-4 films every day on VHS, and that's why my knowledge and inspiration of older cinema is immense. Post 90s, not so much, but Angur, Andaz Apna Apna has been one of my most complete films that I saw, and I liked action, romance, drama, comedy, was David G's Aankhein.
Right.
With Govinda.
Yeah.
Govinda Chichi sir, and it was
crazy film.
Yeah. So, what about you?
I think for me, from really back in the day, I think it would be Padosan. And I really like Hera Fairy. Which had Crime Master Goa, I forgot. What do you
Andaz Apna.
Andaz Apna. So that's Andaz Apna Apna. And
there was another film produced by RK Films called BV.
wow.
Hilarious film. It was Sanjeev Kumar Saab, Dabuji, Randir Kapoor sir. A very funny film.
I even liked Goody. I think it was a very female, led film at that time, and I loved the way she played it. I thought it was amazing.
Chupke. Great film.
Wonderful classic.
Which other?
Katha. Nice, funny film.
Lovely. Great. All the best for planning.
Thank you so much. Wonderful talking to you.
Yes.
Sorry you had to wait so much.
No. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
much.